The rain-slick streets of Seattle gleamed under the streetlights as Vera pushed open the door to her old college haunt, the aroma of fresh espresso hitting her like a forgotten memory. There, behind the counter, stood Emery, her eyes widening in shock, the same Emery who'd vanished without a word 10 years ago after their unspoken college romance fizzled into silence. "Vera? Is that really you?" Emery whispered, her voice cracking like the thunder outside, pulling Vera into a whirlwind of emotions she thought she'd buried forever. Vera froze in the doorway, the bell above tinkling like a distant alarm. The coffee shop hadn't changed much. Same worn wooden counters, same mismatched mugs stacked haphazardly, same indie playlist humming softly in the background. But Emery? She looked both the same and utterly transformed. Her hair was shorter now, streaked with subtle highlights that caught the warm glow of the pendant lights, and her barista apron was tied with the same casual knot Vera remembered from those late-night study sessions at the university cafe. It had been a decade since they'd last seen each other. Vera had moved on, or so she told herself, built a career in graphic design, settled into a cozy apartment in Capitol Hill, even dated a few women who never quite stuck. But seeing Emery now, wiping her hands on a towel and stepping out from behind the espresso machine, it was like time had folded in on itself. I thought you left town for good," Vera stammered, her heart pounding as she approached the counter. Emery's smile was tentative, laced with a sadness that made Vera's chest ache. "I did. For a while. Life pulled me back. Family stuff, you know how it is." She glanced away, busying herself with frothing milk for a latte that no one had ordered. Vera ordered her usual, black coffee, no sugar, and slid onto a stool, the familiarity of the routine unsettling her. As Emery handed over the cup, their fingers brushed, sending a spark up Vera's arm. It was ridiculous, she thought, to feel this way after all these years. But the pull was undeniable, like gravity remembering an old orbit. They talked in fits and starts as the shop emptied out. Emery shared snippets of her life. A failed art degree pursuit in New York, a string of odd jobs, a return to Seattle to care for her ailing mother. Vera nodded, sharing her own milestones. A promotion at the design firm, a trip to Europe that had felt empty without someone to share it with. Beneath the surface chatter, though, lurked the unspoken. Their college days at the University of Washington, where Emery had worked the campus coffee cart and Vera had lingered far too long over textbooks, stealing glances and sharing secret smiles. Back then it had started innocently enough. Vera, a freshman art major, had stumbled into the cart during a rainstorm, drenched and frustrated. Emery, with her easy laugh and knack for remembering orders, had handed her a hot chai and said, "Looks like you could use a dry spell in more ways than one." They'd bonded over shared playlists and late-night walks around the quad, their conversations dipping into dreams and fears. One evening, under the cherry blossoms in full bloom, Emery had leaned in, her lips brushing Vera's in a kiss that tasted like promise and peppermint. But life intervened. Emery's scholarship fell through. Family pressures mounted, and she ghosted, leaving Vera with a heartache that took years to fade. Now, as closing time approached, Emery locked the door and invited Vera to stay for a bit. They sat at a corner table, the city lights twinkling outside like distant stars. "I never stopped thinking about you," Emery admitted softly, her eyes meeting Vera's. "I was scared back then. Too young, too messed up." Vera wanted to be angry, to demand answers for the silence, but instead she reached across the table, her hand finding Emery's. Felt like coming home. The weeks that followed were a blur of rediscovery. Vera found excuses to visit the shop daily, lingering after hours as Emery experimented with new brews. They'd walk along the waterfront, sharing stories of the years apart. Emery opened up about her mother's battle with cancer, how it had forced her to drop out and move east. Vera confessed her own struggles, a toxic relationship that had left her wary of vulnerability. Their conversations wove through laughter and tears, rebuilding the bridge that time had eroded. One crisp autumn evening, as leaves crunched underfoot in Gasworks Park, Emery stopped and turned to Vera. "I want to make this right," she said, her voice steady. "If you'll let me." Vera's heart swelled, and she pulled Emery close, their embrace a silent yes. It was romantic, tentative, like rediscovering a favorite song. But beneath the sweetness, Vera sensed shadows. Emery's evasive answers about her time in New York, the way her phone buzzed incessantly with messages she ignored. Still, Vera pushed the doubts aside, reveling in the warmth of second chances. As their bond deepened, small gestures spoke volumes. Emery left handwritten notes in Vera's coffee cups, quotes from their favorite poets, inside jokes from college. Vera designed a new logo for the shop, a stylized heart intertwined with coffee beans. Friends noticed the change in Vera. She smiled more, hummed tunes while working. Even her boss commented on her renewed creativity. It felt like fate had circled back, offering a do-over. But not everything was seamless. Emery's shifts were erratic, and she often canceled plans last minute, citing exhaustion or family obligations. Vera tried to be understanding, but the old insecurities crept in. One night, over dinner at a cozy Italian spot in Belltown, Vera broached the subject. "What's really going on, Em? You seem distant sometimes." Emery sighed, twirling her pasta. "It's nothing. Just life catching up." Vera let it go, but the seed of doubt had been planted. Little did she know the real storm was brewing. Emery's past wasn't as buried as she claimed, and soon, it would crash into their fragile reunion with the force of a Pacific Northwest gale. The holiday season descended on Seattle like a glittering blanket, fairy lights strung across Pike Place Market, and the scent of roasted chestnuts mingling with the ever-present coffee aroma. Vera and Emery's relationship blossomed amid the festivities. They attended the tree lighting at Westlake Center, hands intertwined as snowflakes dusted their shoulders. Emery's laugh echoed through the crowds, and Vera felt a joy she hadn't known in years. It was as if the universe had conspired to give them this second act. Flashbacks haunted Vera during quiet moments. She remembered their college escapades, sneaking into art galleries after hours, debating feminism over midnight lattes. Emery had been the bold one, challenging Vera to dream bigger. "You're meant for more than sketches in a notebook," she'd say, her eyes fierce with belief. That encouragement had propelled Vera through her degree, but Emery's abrupt departure had left a void. Now with Emery back, Vera felt whole again. They spent Thanksgiving at Vera's apartment, cooking a modest feast. Emery's mother, now in remission, joined them via video call, her frail voice warm with approval. "You two look happy," she said, and Emery blushed, squeezing Vera's knee under the table. Later, as they washed dishes side by side, Emery whispered, "I love you, Vera. I never stopped." The words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. Vera turned, kissing her softly, the kitchen light casting a golden halo around them. But cracks began to show. Emery's phone continued to buzz, and one evening Vera caught a glimpse of a text. "We need to talk. Soon." From someone named Alex. When confronted, Emery brushed it off. Old friend from New York. Nothing to worry about. Vera wanted to believe her, but the drama of their past made trust fragile. She confided in her best friend, Mia, over brunch at a trendy spot in Fremont. "It feels too good to be true," Vera admitted. Mia, ever the pragmatist, advised caution. People change, but secrets don't disappear. As Christmas approached, Emery surprised Vera with tickets to a Broadway show touring in town, The Book of Mormon, a nod to their shared love of satire. The night was magical, laughter filling the theater, but on the way home, Emery grew quiet. "There's something I need to tell you," she said, staring out the window at the passing lights. Vera's stomach nodded. "What is it?" Emery hesitated. "In New York I was involved with someone. Alex. It ended badly, but she's been reaching out." Vera felt a pang of jealousy, but Emery assured her it was over. "I chose to come back here. For a fresh start. With you." They made up that night, their embrace fierce, but the revelation lingered like a shadow. The new year brought resolutions and routines. Vera landed a big client at work, designing campaigns for a local nonprofit. Emery took on more shifts at the shop, saving for art classes. They dreamed of a future, maybe a trip to the San Juan Islands or even cohabitating. But the texts from Alex persisted, escalating to calls that Emery took in hushed tones outside. One rainy afternoon, Vera decided to surprise Emery at the shop with lunch. As she approached, she saw through the window Emery arguing with a woman tall with sharp features and a New York edge. "Alex." Vera's heart sank. She watched as Alex gestured wildly, Emery shaking her head. When Vera entered, the tension was palpable. "Vera, this is Alex," Emery said, her voice strained. Alex eyed Vera coolly. So you're the one she's been talking about. Over awkward coffees, the truth unraveled. Alex wasn't just an ex. They'd been engaged. Emery had left New York after a betrayal. Alex had cheated, but now Alex wanted reconciliation, claiming she'd changed. I came all this way, Alex said, her eyes pleading with Emery. Vera felt like an intruder in her own story, the drama unfolding like a bad soap opera. That night, back at Vera's place, accusations flew. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Vera demanded, tears streaming. Emery paced, frustrated. I was ashamed. I didn't want to drag you into my mess. But Vera felt betrayed, the foundation of their reunion cracking. Our connection from college, was that just nostalgia? Or real? Emery pulled her close. It's real. More than ever. They weathered the storm, with Alex leaving town after a tense goodbye. Emery blocked her number, vowing transparency. For a while, peace returned. They volunteered at a local LGBTQ center, helping organize events for queer youth. It felt meaningful, their love extending beyond themselves. Vera designed posters for a pride march. Emery brewed coffee for volunteers. In those moments, the human element shone. Their story a testament to resilience. Yet doubt festered. Vera found herself scrolling Emery's old social media, piecing together timelines. One post from 5 years ago. Emery and Alex at a gallery opening, arms linked, captions gushing love. It stung, reminding Vera of her own vulnerabilities. She confronted Emery again, this time calmer. I need to know you're all in. Emery nodded, eyes earnest. I am. Let's build something new. Spring brought renewal. Cherry blossoms bloomed again, echoing their first kiss. They picnicked under the trees, toasting to fresh starts. But as the days lengthened, Emery's mood shifted, distant, irritable. Vera attributed it to work stress, but deep down she feared more. The climax loomed when Vera discovered a hidden email chain on Emery's laptop, left open by accident. Messages from Alex pleading for another chance, and Emery's responses, not outright rejections but ambiguous. I miss what we had, one read. Vera's world tilted. Confrontation erupted in Vera's living room, the spring rain pattering against the windows like accusatory fingers. How could you? Vera yelled, thrusting the laptop at Emery. You said it was over. Emery's face paled, her hands trembling as she closed the screen. It's not what it looks like. I was just processing. But Vera wasn't buying it. The betrayal cut deep, echoing the pain of Emery's disappearance a decade ago. Processing? With your ex-fiancé? While we're building a life. Emery sank onto the couch, head in hands. Alex showed up unannounced last month. I told her no, but she kept emailing. I didn't know how to shut it down without hurting her more. Vera paced, anger boiling. And what about hurting me? Our college connection, you said it meant everything. Was that a lie? Tears welled in Emery's eyes. No. But I'm flawed, Vera. I ran before because I was scared of commitment. Now, I'm trying. The argument stretched into the night, voices rising and falling like waves. Vera recounted the years of wondering, the what-ifs that had haunted her. Emery admitted her fears, losing her mother, failing at art, the pressure of expectations. It was raw, emotional, peeling back layers of hurt. By dawn, exhaustion won. They collapsed into each other's arms, forgiveness tentative but present. But the conflict didn't end there. Alex, sensing weakness, returned to Seattle, booking a hotel and ambushing Emery at the coffee shop. Vera arrived mid-scene, the air thick with tension. Leave her alone, Vera demanded, stepping between them. Alex smirked. She contacted me first after I left. Ask her. Emery's silence was damning. Vera stormed out, the drama escalating to a breaking point. Alone in her apartment, Vera grappled with the pain. She called Mia, sobbing over the phone. It's like college all over again, promises broken. Mia drove over, armed with ice cream and tough love. You deserve better, but only you know if she's worth fighting for. Vera reflected on their journey. The laughter, the shared dreams, the way Emery made her feel seen. It was romantic, yes, but laced with human frailty. Emery showed up hours later, soaked from the rain, a bouquet of wildflowers in hand, Vera's favorites from their college walks. I'm sorry, she said, voice breaking. I replied to Alex because I needed closure, but it was wrong. I choose you, Vera. Every day. They talked for hours unpacking baggage. Emery revealed more. Her time in New York had been toxic, Alex manipulative, leaving scars. Vera shared her own fears of abandonment, rooted in a distant family. Reconciliation came slowly. They attended couples therapy at a center in Queen Anne, a neutral space to rebuild trust. The sessions were intense. Tears, revelations, breakthroughs. One therapist exercise involved writing letters to their past selves, forgiving the mistakes. Emery's letter to college-era her. You weren't ready, but that's okay. Growth comes later. Vera's. You survived the silence. Now thrive in the noise. As summer warmed the city, their bond strengthened. They road trip to Olympic National Park, hiking trails and camping under stars. Around a campfire, Emery proposed a commitment. Not marriage, but a promise ring, symbolizing their enduring connection. From college crushes to this, she said, slipping it on Vera's finger. It was romantic, heartfelt, a turning point. But drama lingered on the periphery. Alex sent a final email apologetic, wishing them well before moving on. Emery deleted it publicly in front of Vera, closing the chapter. Yet, new conflicts arose. Emery's mother relapsed, requiring care. Vera stepped up, driving to appointments, cooking meals. It tested their relationship but also deepened it, highlighting the human element. Love in action, not just words. One evening, as they sat on the balcony watching the sunset over Puget Sound, Vera turned to Emery. We've been through hell, but I'm glad it's with you. Emery smiled, leaning her head on Vera's shoulder. Me too. Our story isn't perfect, but it's ours. The high of summer gave way to autumn's introspection. Vera's work flourished. She landed a gallery show for her designs, inspired by their reunion. Emery enrolled in online art classes, her sketches capturing Seattle's essence, the ferries, the markets, their quiet moments. Friends celebrated their resilience at a backyard barbecue, toasting to second chances. Yet a final twist loomed. Emery received a job offer in Portland, an art residency, her dream. It meant relocation, at least temporarily. I don't want to lose you again, Emery said, eyes pleading. Vera felt the old fear resurface. Then don't go without me. They debated, weighing pros and cons. It was dramatic, emotional, echoes of past separations. In the end, Vera encouraged her. Go. We'll make it work. Long distance isn't forever. Emery accepted, but with a plan. Weekend visits, daily calls. As she packed, tears mixed with excitement. Their goodbye at the airport was bittersweet. A kiss full of promise. 10 years couldn't break us, Emery whispered. A few months won't either. Vera watched the plane take off, heart heavy yet hopeful. The separation would test them, but she believed in their growth. The months apart stretched like an endless highway. Vera in Seattle, Emery in Portland. Video calls bridged the gap, but pixels couldn't replace touch. Vera threw herself into work, her designs gaining acclaim. A feature in a local magazine, praise for capturing raw emotion. She credited Emery, their story fueling her creativity. But loneliness crept in, especially on rainy nights when the city felt too vast. Emery thrived in the residency, her art evolving. Abstract pieces inspired by their love, blending coffee stains with watercolor hearts. She sent photos, voice notes of excitement. This is for us, she'd say. But distance bred misunderstandings. A late-night call turned heated when Vera mentioned a work happy hour with a flirty colleague. Are you seeing someone? Emery accused, insecurity flaring. Vera reassured her. But the seed of doubt mirrored their earlier conflicts. Drama peaked during a visit. Vera drove down for Emery's gallery opening. The space buzzing with artists and patrons. Emery's work shone, but so did a new friend, Lila. A fellow resident with lingering touches and knowing smiles. Vera felt a jealous twinge. Over wine afterward, she confronted Emery. What's with Lila? Emery laughed it off. Just a friend. You're paranoid. But Vera pressed and truths tumbled out. Emery had confided in Lila about their struggles, seeking advice. I felt alone here, Emery admitted. The argument escalated in Emery's tiny studio apartment. You ran to someone else just like with Alex. Vera shouted. Emery fired back. And you pushed me away with your doubts. It was raw, echoing past betrayals. They slept apart that night, the air thick with regret. Morning brought apologies, Emery. I should have talked to you first. Vera. I need to trust more. They made love tenderly, reaffirming their bond, but the incident left scars. Back in Seattle, Vera sought solace in community. She joined a lesbian book club, finding solidarity in stories of resilience. One novel mirrored theirs, a tale of reunited lovers navigating life's storms. It inspired Vera to write Emery a letter, pouring out her fears and love. Our connection from college isn't just memory. It's the foundation we build on. Emery responded with a surprise visit, showing up at Vera's door with a canvas, their story painted in vibrant hues. I'm coming home early, she announced. The residency ends next month, and I choose us over anything. Joy overwhelmed Vera. They celebrated with a picnic at Discovery Park, the Olympic Mountains framing their horizon. But fate tested them again. Emery's mother worsened, requiring full-time care. Emery moved her to Seattle, balancing caregiving with job hunts. Vera helped, but stress mounted. One night, exhausted, Emery snapped at Vera over a minor issue. I can't do this alone. Vera, hurt, retreated. It highlighted their human limits. Love wasn't a cure-all. Therapy resumed, focusing on balance. They learned to communicate better, setting boundaries. Vera took time off work to assist, their teamwork strengthening ties. Emery's mother, sensing their devotion, blessed them. You two are family, she said weakly. As winter approached, a high point emerged. Vera proposed a commitment ceremony, not legal marriage, but a private vow exchange at their old college quad, under now bare cherry trees. Friends gathered, Mia officiating. Emery's vows. From barista crushes to this, you've been my constant. Vera's. Through betrayals and miles, our love endures. Rings exchanged, it was romantic, emotional. A pinnacle after turmoil. Post-ceremony, life settled. Emery landed a teaching gig at a community center, blending art and coffee workshops. Vera's career soared. She mentored young queer artists. They adopted a rescue dog, naming her Blossom after their first kiss spot. Evenings were spent walking her along the waterfront, hands linked. Yet subtle conflicts persisted. Emery's lingering guilt over Alex, Vera's fear of loss. One evening, over dinner, Emery confessed, I almost replied to Alex again during the residency, but I didn't. Because of you. Vera nodded, understanding growth's messiness. We're not perfect, but we're real. The narrative deepened with community involvement. They advocated for LGBTQ rights, marching in pride parades, sharing their story at panels. It felt personnel, turning personal pain into collective healing. Our drama isn't unique, Vera said in one speech, but our perseverance is. As the year turned, Emery's mother passed peacefully, surrounded by love. The grief was profound but shared. They scattered her ashes in the sound, a poignant farewell. In mourning, their bond solidified. Romance intertwined with support. Looking ahead, they planned a cross-country road trip, tracing Emery's New York path to reclaim it together. No more ghosts, Emery said. Vera agreed, excited for the future. But as they packed, a final revelation surfaced. An old college journal Vera found, detailing her unspoken love. Reading it aloud, tears flowed. We were always meant to be, Emery whispered. The road trip unfolded like a ribbon across America, from Seattle's misty shores to New York's bustling streets. Vera and Emery drove in shifts, playlists blasting their college favorites. Indie rock anthems that evoked nostalgia. Stops at national parks and diners fueled deep conversations, mending lingering wounds. In Yellowstone, under Geyser's steam, Emery admitted, leaving you back then was my biggest regret. Vera forgave fully. It led us here stronger. Arriving in New York, they confronted the past. Emery showed Vera her old haunts, the gallery where she'd met Alex, the apartment of broken dreams. At a quiet cafe, they toasted closure. To new beginnings, Vera said. Emery smiled. And enduring love. The city, once a symbol of betrayal, transformed into a backdrop for renewal. Back home, life hummed with purpose. They moved in together, blending styles in a Ballard bungalow. Vera's modern art with Emery's eclectic sketches. Mornings started with coffee brewed by Emery, evenings with walks and talks. Their dog, Blossom, became family, her wags a reminder of joy. Conflicts arose occasionally, work stresses, differing opinions, but they handled them with grace, therapy's tools in hand. One heated debate over finances ended in laughter. "We're a team," Emery said. Vera agreed. "Always." Their story inspired others. At the LGBTQ Center, they mentored couples, sharing lessons in resilience. "Love isn't fairy tale perfect," Vera told one pair. "It's human, messy, beautiful," Emery added. "And worth every fight." As years passed, this was their first year reunited, but time felt expansive. Anniversaries marked milestones. The coffee shop meeting, the commitment ceremony. For their first, they returned to the shop, now under new ownership but still nostalgic. Emery recreated Vera's order, adding a heart in foam. "Still remember," she winked. A poignant twist came when Vera discovered she was pregnant. Via donor. A decision they'd made together. No explicit details, but the joy was profound. Emery's excitement matched Vera's, their family expanding. Challenges loomed, parenthood's demands, but they embraced them, love deepening. In quieter moments, Vera reflected on their arc. From college sparks to decade-long silence, reunions, drama, betrayals weathered to this. A life built on empathy. It was personal, romantic, laced with life's grit. The ending wasn't happily ever after in the simplistic sense. It was real, with ongoing growth. Emery's art flourished, exhibited nationally. Vera's designs advocated for social causes. Together they fostered a home of acceptance, hosting queer youth events. One evening, as sunset painted the sky, they sat on their porch, hands entwined. "After all this, do you still remember our college connection?" Vera teased. Emery laughed. "Every day. It's what brought us here." Their kiss was tender, a seal on their journey. In the end, their story was a testament to human endurance. Love's capacity to heal, even after betrayal and time. It wasn't tragic. It was hopeful, a beacon for others. As blossom curled at their feet, the future stretched bright, full of promise.